Over the past several months, Disney has been desperate to stop the backlash for the live-action race swap Little Mermaid, but it looks like today they may have stepped in it. They may have created yet another problem for them when it comes to the Little Mermaid and China, and it's a problem that they've had time and time again, been criticized for time and time again. As much as they want to promote identity politics, promote diversity and representation, when it comes to promoting it in another country, typically, they don't go that route. Typically, they decide to cover up anything and everything they can for a little bit more money. But the truth is, as much as Disney's tried to stop the backlash, using the mainstream media, using the critics, using anything and everything they can, it hasn't worked. Since the very first moment people saw the teaser trailer, there's been a lot of backlash for this movie for a variety of reasons. People don't want another Disney live-action soulless remake. People think it looks terrible, from the awful CGI to the character designs, and of course, just how dull and muted it looks compared to the colorful original. And of course, the agenda, the identity politics, the reason that Ariel is race swap, the reason they're changing lyrics to these classic songs for a more modern era, the reason they've admitted that they're changing the story to fit in a modern feminist agenda, even the ending, where Eric is supposed to kill Ursula and save the day. No, that's going to be Ariel this time, because of course it is. Well, now, in a desperate effort to get people in China to actually go and see this movie, which isn't working, by the way, we'll get to that, it looks like Disney is once again under a microscope for changing things a little bit on this poster. This is the primary Little Mermaid poster that's been going out everywhere when people are talking about China, when it comes to the Chinese box office. And people have noticed something when it comes to Ariel. All you have to do, and we can even zoom in on this, when you look at this, the way it's been designed, it's almost like they tried to saturate it with this blue light and all these things to make Ariel look as blue as possible and not show off the fact that Ariel has been race swapped, that Ariel is actually black. I wonder if there's a reason that's happening in China. And I'm certainly not the only one that's noticed it. A lot of other people are talking about this right now. There's My Nerdy Home, the Little Mermaid China poster. Ariel is blue. The quartering, they made the black Little Mermaid white/blue for China. Where's the liberal boycott and calls of racism? Disney's poster for Little Mermaid in China speaks for itself. What's up with this China Little Mermaid poster, Disney? Why did you make her skin blue? There's Lauren Chen. Is Disney trying to disguise the fact that the Little Mermaid is black for their China poster? And if you wonder, why would people just assume that that's what's happening? Well, Disney has a little bit of a history. Do you remember Force Awakens with John Boyega? This was the poster that went out everywhere else. This was the poster for China, shrinking John Boyega's character Finn because he's black. What else? Oh, that's right, Black Panther. Black Panther poster. You can't make this shit up. For America and everywhere else versus in China. They tried to cover up his face. So, of course, people are going to get all over Disney for doing something like this in China. Now, the reality is, and I'll be completely upfront, I have seen other Chinese posters as well. This might be the primary one that's being circulated out there, and that might very well be the reason that they did it. This is Disney after all. There is another one that's out there, just the stereotypical, like, I think this is the standard one that also is in Chinese lettering, things like that. So just want to be fair and put that out there. It's not the singular Chinese poster, but it certainly seems like that's the one that's getting the most play and getting the most use in China. Unfortunately for Disney, it's not working very well. The Little Mermaid poised to flounder as Disney's worst 2023 opening in China. Not just Disney's worst 2023 opening in China, maybe the worst Chinese openings we've seen in history for a big Hollywood tentpole movie. The Little Mermaid secured a release date in China, but estimates suggest the live-action remake is on track for Disney's worst China opening in 2023. While getting a release date can be seen as a success on its own, recent estimates suggest the film's likely to be Disney's worst performing Chinese release. According to Chinese box office observers like Luis Fernando, the film earned, get this, just $13,000 from pre-sales for its opening weekend, indicating a severe lack of interest from China's moviegoers. So basically what this means is while it was in pre-sale, everybody that could buy tickets, everybody, the over 1 billion people in China. How many people are there right now? Well over 1 billion. They bought $13,000 worth of movie tickets. That's it. projected maybe even for less than $1 million opening weekend in China for The Little Mermaid. So all that pandering, everything you did, your desperate attempts, apparently it's not working when it comes to The Little Mermaid. Now, to be fair, this movie doesn't need China to be a financial success. We've seen things be financial successes without China. Certainly, something like Top Gun Maverick was a huge hit. And in the recent weeks, as in the lead up to the release of Little Mermaid, it first looked very, very bleak. Domestic box office projections, very, very bad. They have boosted up, so you got to look at what they're projecting right now for Little Mermaid. Traditional weekend, $90 to $112 million. That's not necessarily blowing anything out of the water, but they will have a holiday weekend too, so a big holiday Monday that could boost those numbers significantly. What's the hold going to be at a $200 million budget? Probably spent a fuck ton on marketing. It's something that needs to be probably between the $600 to $700 million range to break even. Based on what the projections are right now and what they have been, when you look at that total domestic projection, 271 to 379, if it does have a big international split like the rest of these Disney live action movies have had, you certainly could be looking at a movie that's very successful. Certainly, I don't think we're talking about $1 billion movie or anything like that. But in terms of breaking even, cracking that, $700 million mark, it certainly could end up right in that area. We're not going to know till we see how people think about this. We see the word of mouth, everything like that. But there's no doubt that this is an embarrassment for Disney. Basically, no one in China wants to see this movie. And of course, they're getting called out once again for trying to erase their own black characters when it comes to these Chinese releases. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below about Disney getting dragged right now. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.